Hisuian Avalugg got released and I am actually shocked how good this worked out. Those games were really amazing and I had a ton of fun playing this team as well. Kinda got hardball sometimes, but still this was a ton of fun to play. A little bit of an horrible lead here going to be the Trevenant for my team. We're going to have the Buzzwole in the lead, we're going to have the Say-Stop of the NiRiain, and we're going to have in the back the Avalugg. Buzzwole is pretty important here as you're going to be able to resist those fighting type moves which you really want to get rid of with your Say-Stop of the NiRiain, as your Pokemon in the back is double weak to fighting type moves, also double weak to steel type moves, but it doesn't really matter too much as there are basically no steel type moves available. For me it's currently 3 AM in the morning at Christmas Eve, which is actually the most important day, at least in my country, for Christmas, so if you want to drop a like on the video I would highly appreciate it. It's always a little bit of an effort to get those videos done that fast, but hey, we all put some sacrifices on here, so let's take a look at some more gameplay here. We're going to have the moveset of Blizzard and the Rock Slide on our new Hisuian Avalugg, and also, which you haven't seen yet, our boy is a shiny boy. We're gonna get the shiny on the first raid which I got, which is kind of funny. Of course not the best IVs, but I'm going to do a ton more raids tomorrow and it's also available in my time zone otherwise. But yeah, first raid and the only raid that I had was immediately a shiny. Here I'm going to forfeit because my opponent has Swampert with a ton of energy, and yes, Hydrocan is super effective against me because we are not only a pure ice type, we are a ice type with also the part rock typing here. My opponent swapped into a Swampert here. I should have actually stayed in for a little bit and went for a move, I think, with my Buzzwole, but I swapped then immediately into my NiRiain, where my opponent actually went ahead and baited me here, which is fine for me. They're actually going to let this move go through, which is really good for me. They can go for an Earthquake. I know this is an Earthquake, but I don't think it's worth it to shield this move up. They can go back into the obstacle and I can still get to one Icicle Spear, but I really need to align my Pokemon here and I got this down, which is amazing. I'm going to be able to go into my Buzzwole now. I can just let this move go through. They're all going to be resisted. Obstruct coming through, not really an issue. And we see a Cresselia coming in. Cresselia, of course, is one of the strongest Pokemon, but debuffing them immediately and getting some damage on them is amazing, as we can now go into our Avalugg, and Avalugg has access to the move Rock Slide and Blizzard here, as we already saw before, and we can go ahead and go for one Rock Slide, hopefully getting the shield from the opponent. Let's see. We're gonna get the shield there, which is nice. We can take another move against them as well, which is nice, as we can see the future set coming through, so they don't have the move Grass Knot. We can go for one move here as well, going to be the Rock Slide, as we're gonna get them low, and we're gonna get the final shield here as well, most likely, with the next Rock Slide, allowing me to swap out now into my Buzzwole. Gonna get some energy against them as well. They're going to go straight for the feature side, which doesn't knock me out. If they want to swap, I get more energy, and now I will be just able to win this game anyway. Next opponent, Trevenant in the lead. Again, horrible, but we can swap into our NiRiain. They're going to go into Machamp, which is even worse for me, because Machamp, of course, going to do a ton of damage, being super effective with the counter and also having Cross Chop, going to hurt. My opponent throws at the perfect time, which is very good from them. Very good timing there from them, as I can go ahead and go into my Buzzwole now, farm them all the way down, and get an energy advantage here. This energy advantage will be very nice against the Trevenant, as I can now basically debuff them, and I can try to catch the Shadow Ball potentially on my Avalugg, and we are going to be successful with that as well, which is nice. This is still going to hurt, but it's A, debuffed, and B, also not super effective, as we get the NiRiain in against us now. Going to go for one Icicle Spear, which is going to be resisted, as we can go for one Rock Slide here. I still would survive one though, so I don't know if I'm going to shield the next move by the opponent. They're going to let this move, shield this move up. I don't think I needed to do this. I think this is a misplay by me. Because I would have been able to go for another Rock Slide, but I can keep my Avalugg alive here still, go for one Rock Slide now, swap out into my Buzzwole and get an energy lead. I don't really care if they want to throw, they do not want to throw, and I can go ahead and go for one lunge against the opponent's Trevenant. I can just shield up the potential Shadow Ball now, and I will be able to realign my Pokemon, which is the main thing I want here, and I can go ahead, go for one charge move here. My opponent has to throw against my Buzzwole, and I don't think this even knocks me out yet, right? Let's see. the Icicle Spear comes through, doesn't knock me out, and one more counter will be enough, as we still had a Pokemon in the back there. We will be able to win this game, and it's going to be a very good game. Next game, we're going to see a very good lead for me, which is the S-Cavalier here. We will be able to take any move here. It's going to be all resisted other than the Aerial Ace, but they don't have Aerial Ace. We see a Swampert coming in. I can get the debuff done here, and what we can also do now, because we know how much energy they already have, I can perfectly catch into my Walrein here, making this matchup way better. And at this point of time, my internet died. And I have no idea how much energy my opponent got, and they definitely got a lot of energy, so I have to shield this here, which is really annoying because I actually didn't even connect to my Wi-Fi again, but like, yeah, I know that my Wi-Fi just died there. So they basically got some free moves, which is really annoying, but maybe it doesn't really matter. Let's see. We're going to be able to still take this move. I don't think this is going to be another Earthquake. I don't think they farmed out that much while I was lagging, but we will be able to go for an Earthquake against them now. And I'm going to let them farm me down, because I kind of want to have my switch advantage in case they have like something like a Charizard in the back. We will be able to go for one superpower now, trying to knock out the opponent. Let's see if this is enough. It is enough, and we see a Drapion in the back. That's very good for me, as my Pokemon in the back would have definitely destroyed them as well. We see a very good lead for me again, going to be a Walrein into a Tapu Fini. I'm going to go ahead and go straight for the lunge, which debuffs the opponent, making the matchup later on a little bit better for my Walrein. Gonna get them low as well, but the debuff is the main thing why I did this. As well, actually getting the damage on them allows me to put them into range for one Earthquake, which is also something that's kind of important, as this will now knock out the opponent straight away. I actually went for a one move over Earthquake, which allows me to outspeed the opponent's incoming Walrein as well to the next Earthquake, which is crucial because this will give me some more damage on them, which is really nice, as I can now align my Pokemon again, but they're going to get some extra energy here, but they still have to go for an Earthquake, and there's going to be an Earthquake. They're at 100 energy now, fine for me, but I can go ahead and go for my Buzzwole. I can take this move, and now it depends on what they have in the back. I would expect they have a Charizard in the back, and they do have a Charizard in the back. We saw a ton of Charizards. Wing Attack is resisted here. Blast Spin still going to hurt because it's neutral, but we are actually not that squishy. Our IVs are not perfect, but what is perfect is, of course, that we can go for Rock Slides here against the opponent's Charizard. Our defense stat is actually pretty decent with this Pokemon. It's a little bit less tanky than the normal Avalugg, but the typing of the Rock typing makes it better against those Fire types anyway. So we're going to be able to go ahead and go for another Rock Slide here, and we see now how much a Blast Burn does to me. Blast Burn, one of the strongest moves, still doesn't knock me out from this range, so very good for me. Against Shadow version though, it's a little bit tricky, but you're gonna get them lower as well, as we can go ahead and go for one superpower now against them. And this should win us this game as well. Good game to my opponent. Next one, we will see Buzzwole against the Swampert. Very decent lead here. What you're going to do here usually is you're going to let them go for 5 moves. They have 5 fast moves, going to go for the shield immediately, because you have a move that debuffs them. And if you can align your Pokemon, it's usually crucial, because you will be able to go for one lunge, as they're going to actually stay in here, which is cool for you. You can do that. You can just go ahead and go now for a few fast moves. And I'm actually going to decide here to catch the move of the opponent, which is even better, as the Hydro Cannon coming through doesn't do damage, and I can realign my Pokemon now as well afterwards. We see the Walrein coming in, which is amazing for me, because this basically tells me I'm gonna get my shield back that I just invested, because they still need 2 Earthquakes to knock me out. 1 Earthquake plus 1 Icicle Spear will not do enough damage to knock me out here, so we should be fine. The Earthquake is coming through here, as this is going to knock out the opponent, and they're actually going to, never mind, they're going to shield this move up. I'm going to go for a questionable play here, going for the lunge, and they have the Charizard in the back, so it's even more of a questionable play. I don't know why I didn't throw my charge move there. This is really bad now, because if I went for my superpower still does around 50% to a Shadow Charizard. I would have put them into range where I would have been able to farm them all the way down, but at this point of time, this game is basically over, and there's not a lot that I can do anymore. And yeah, like, this was just my own mistake. Like, they would have been dead already at this point of time, easy with Superpower. Superpower does enough damage to put them into range. I can farm them down here. I had a Rock Slide for the opponent, and I would have been fine. But now I'm going to have to catch the move from the Walrein here, and I still get to my own. With a 1 HP, Shadow Walrein going to get to their own fast charge move here with Icicle Spear, enough to knock out the opponent. We're still going to be able to win this game, even though I misplay hard there. And we can see the next opponent coming in here. Venusaur, kinda tricky. Maybe I should have swapped out immediately though. think I most likely should have stopped out immediately. But it's okay, we can go ahead and go for one lunge here. Going to be able to get the debuff again. Let's see what they're going to do. They're going to go for one Sludge Bomb here. Fine for me. We're going to see the Charizard coming in. I was pretty late here, but what we can do is we can go for some more Rock Slides, trying to knock them out straight away. They're going to go for the Blast Burn, and I can go ahead, farm up extra, go for the Rock Slide now. Rock Slide will definitely one-shot them, of course. And I'm going to go ahead and shield up another move. This is fine for me because I will be able to knock them out afterwards no matter what. And I can go ahead and go for another Rock Slide here. Rock Slide coming through. Rock Slide going to do enough damage to knock them out, of course. But at this point of time, they're going to shield up again. We have to take another Blast Burn here. Fine for us, as we can, again, still take this, even though our V spread is pretty horrible. If you have a really good one, like, I would really recommend you to trade for one as well. I think it will definitely be beneficial for you. We will get to another lunge here against the opponent's Venusaur. Sadly, not enough to knock them out. And now it depends on what they have in the bag. We will see here that we have to go into our own Walrein. We're going to wait out the clock, which is important. We can farm them down, and we see a Regirock in the bag. And this basically is game over. There's not a lot that I can do here. One Earthquake does not knock them out. One Stone Edge does not knock me out, but they still have a ton of energy here right now. And I have to catch the move. And I can catch the move. And this is amazing, because now we will be able to still go for another charge move here. And this Icicle Spear will win me the game. And you see how important this catch was there. Definitely well played by myself. Definitely was necessary to win this game here, as we see the next opponent having a Molting in the lead. Fine for me, Dragalge, I misplay a little bit, I think. I mean, it's fine. Could have went for the Earthquake, I guess, but I also can go for one Icicle Spear here. But I'm going to shield this move, which is kind of necessary. It could be Gang Shot, it could be Outrage. Kind of has to do. We're going to get the Awkward Tail, which doesn't really matter now for us, because they're going to get to another Awkward Tail. But most likely does nearly as much damage as just one Dragon Tail alone, so it doesn't really help them too much. We're in a shield disadvantage right now, but we have an energy advantage and a switch advantage, so I take 2 advantages over the one that my opponent has here, as we will be able to even get some more damage on the opponent as well. And now we have a health advantage in general as well. They still have one more shield than us, and I expect them to have maybe the Charizard in the back again, which can be awkward. They can go ahead and farm me all the way down now. They have 1 HP, not 1 HP, but like close to 1 HP there still left on the Miltank, and we have to go into our Avalugg. Issue here is the opponent still has 1 more shield than me, which going to be a little bit tricky. We're going to shield up the move, going to be the Blast Burn most likely, and we can still go for another Rock Slide here. I can still survive this move, but my opponent will outspeed me to my 3rd Rock Slide, because they can still go for the Dragon Claw, which is not ideal. So what we have to do here now is to try to get the most amount of damage on them, and we also have to try to go for one superpower against them. I don't know if this is enough to knock them out. They are not Shadow like the one before, and we will see it is just barely enough to knock them out. We will see the opponent coming in. They're gonna go for a charge move. Can we survive it? It's going to be the Ice Beam, and we still survive it. Impossible is still standing, destroying the opponent here. Going to the final game, we're going to face off against a Giratina. We can swap into the Walrein, and we can see the Cobalion coming in against us. Going to no-shield this move, actually. Going to be a Sacred Sword. Fine for us. We're going to bait them with the Icicle Spear. Let's see if this helps us out. We're going to get the shield, actually, which is fine. And we can still get to the Earthquake, which allows us to get 2 shields against the opponent, which is very important, as we can now go ahead and go into our Buzzwole, farm them down. Not going to shield anything here. It's going to be a Sacred Sword as anyway, which is nice. And now we have a shield advantage for our Avalugg in the bag. Even if it's Verisian, I think I can just one-shot them with a Blizzard, but they're actually going to swap into their Giratina. This is horrible for me now, because they still have the Cobalion, and I have nothing to hit the Cobalion with my Avalugg. So I'm going to have to shield this move up. My opponent actually runs, I think, Shadow Sneak plus Ancient Power, which is a move that I haven't seen at all yet. We had 100 energy. We can knock out the opponent with this Blizzard, but they can swap in again with a Cobalion, which they do immediately. I am going to shield up the charge move here. I kind of want to keep my Blizzard just in case they have something in the back which I can one-shot, and I can perfectly swap into my Buzzwole here, knock them out, and they're going to have a Flyer in the back, which we will be able to now one-shot with the Blizzard for the end. This is the best ending ever, and that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you did, and I see you in the next one, and have a very good holiday. So, bye bye.